That is tough, though. That's kind of tough.
Mhm.
All right. I mean, yeah, let's just get right into it. Justin, he's got the D Rose jersey because we all know D Rose
Yes, sir.
after the big happened.
Yes, sir.
Literally happened like an hour before we started doing or before we recorded this. So like immediate reactions to this trade. The Detroit Pistons traded guard Derrick Rose back to New York in exchange for Dennis Smith Jr. and some draft compensation. Um, Reuniting the former MVP with Tom Thibodeau, who's actually has had Derrick Rose on every team he's ever been a head coach for, which is pretty cool.
That's kind of
interesting to
crazy.
think about, yeah. So, I
I heard
mean,
Thibodeau, he's always going after the guys that he had on that Bulls team.
Facts.
We tried to get, I think we got Taj Gibson back too, actually.
I have a trivia question. Who has played the most games under Tom Thibodeau?
Which player?
I know this one. I
Player.
know this one.
All right, well then, Justin, who is it?
Probably somebody weird. It's probably like Luol Deng or something.
He's up there. I actually have the top 5, but
It's Jimmy Butler, isn't it?
nope, it's not Jimmy Butler.
Got to be D Rose then.
Nope. D Rose isn't even top 5.
What? What? Who is it?
Taj Gibson, baby.
Taj Gibson.
Taj Gibson. 477 games under Tom Thibodeau. Jimmy
Jesus.
Butler was second. Jimmy Butler and Joakim Noah are actually tied with 325. And then Carlos Boozer and then Luol Deng.
Booze. Man, that was a nice squad they had back in the early
Yeah.
2000s or 2010s.
True. But I mean, Justin, you're the Knicks fan. What do you think?
Very, very happy about the trade. We got rid of one of our terrible point guards and didn't even have to give up a pick. Unless that's what draft compensation is. I don't even know what that means.
I mean, it's probably not going to be anything crazy. I would imagine it's probably like a second round pick or something.
Yeah, we didn't. All I know is we did not give up a first. That's good.
Yeah. But are you concerned that this could potentially impact, Emmanuel Quickly's growth as a player or even Elfrid Payton?
I don't care about that guy Alfred Payton at all, so we could get rid of him right now. But I am a little worried about Emmanuel Quickly because this guy Tom Thibodeau loves Alfred Payton for some reason. So, I mean, 1 year of Quickly being on the bench won't be too bad, but if he for some reason keeps the roster how it is and keeps it Quickly on the bench, I'll be a little upset.
Go ahead, Toby.
I was going to say, the way I look at it, I feel like Quickly, like this will be good for Quickly learning from D Rose, even though he might get reduced in playing time. I feel like D Rose is just such a solid veteran for really any team. And I actually really enjoy this pickup from the Knicks because this also gives Dennis Smith an opportunity to show what he's capable of, probably getting more playing minutes in Detroit. So,
Probably going to start now, right?
I don't know.
I mean, Killian Hayes went down. Who's the other guy? Who's the other guard that they have?
It's that white guy from like Russia or whatever.
Is it Mikhailu?
Yeah, I don't know how to say his name.
Mikhailu, I think his name is.
Yeah, I
Yeah, I
mean,
don't
Dennis
even
Jr.
know.
might start.
Who the Pistons are starting, if we're being 100% honest, I couldn't tell you. But does this make New York, they're playing the Heat as we speak.
They were losing the last time I saw by like 5.
But
5 minutes
New
left
York
in the third.
is 11-13 at the moment, and they're 7th in the Eastern Conference. Are they going to be a playoff team this year with Derrick Rose?
Yes, they are.
I think he'll boost their chances.
Uh-huh.
As a Nets fan, I think they have what it takes to make the playoffs, especially acquiring D Rose. I think they had what it takes before they got D Rose. So I think anytime you can get D Rose into the playoffs, that's a really good thing.
It's going to be close because Toronto is right there. Like Toronto is making like a nice little stretch here. as of late they started pretty slow, but they're doing better. And then the Hornets, I mean, they're right there. And then the Cavs, surprisingly enough, they've
The
been
East is
solid.
really tight.
I know. So it's gonna be close. It's gonna really come down to the wire, really, at the end of the season. So, but yeah, Derrick Rose back in the Big Apple.
It's just the only thing that is disappointing about this trade is we just traded for another point guard. So we still have 4 guys that can all play point guard at any moment. Because we still have
That's
Frank and I don't know why. I follow this account on Instagram called Knicks Nation. I love that account. That's probably the best Knicks fan page on Instagram. But this guy loves Frank. He loves Frank. He's always talking about, oh, don't trade Frank, don't trade Frank. But like, why not?
That's the one point
Guy
that you guys
sucks.
should trade.
Yeah, yeah.
Alfred Payton is nice. Like, I don't know why you don't see it.
Because he puts up his numbers, but when he's in, the rest of the offense sucks. When Quickly is in, just everything flows perfectly. Everybody gets the ball. Everybody's putting up quality shots. When Alfred's in, it just gets so stagnant.
Do you think Derrick Rose should start or come off the bench?
I think he should start.
So you think who do you think should be the starting lineup now?
Same thing, just with D Rose in. D Rose, Bullock, RJ, Randall, and Mitch. Because Bullock might be a bum, but that guy, he shoots very well. He's a great shooter for the Knicks. And I like Alec Burks coming off the bench because he's a little, like
Reggie
spark
Bullock
plug.
has 21 right now.
Oh, really?
7 threes. All threes.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's all that guy does.
RJ only has 3 points.
But
right
the Knicks have some actual real depth now, which is
Yeah,
what
we
separates them
do. We
apart
do
from a
have
lot
some
of other
solid
teams.
depth. We do.
It's
Have
just
some
a lot of guards, like you said, though. Because you
Yeah.
also have Austin Rivers,
Yeah, but he's like a shooting guard. He's not
Alex
really
Burks. You got a lot of guards.
I think this season is a season to figure out who is staying on the team for next year. That's what this season is about. Because we need to get rid of some loose ends once we solidify a nice lineup.
Do you think Julius Randle is someone that you should keep around moving forward?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I really wanted to get rid of him at the beginning of the season so we could see what Obi's about, but that guy sucks, so keep Julius Randle.
Bro, but it's so early still.
Yeah, I know. It is early. It's still only his first season, but like Randall's playing amazing. How could we get rid of somebody who's playing like this?
The Knicks I feel like the Knicks have like a good problem. Like everyone always says like, oh, we got to get rid of players. But I feel like to have a lot of players to, that could potentially be solid is a good problem to have.
But you should definitely keep Julius Randle.
Yeah.
He's still relatively young.
Yeah.
He's not. I don't even think I think he's like 25 or 26.
You know what's crazy? I was looking at the Knicks roster, and Emmanuel Quickley is actually older than RJ.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I guess it makes sense because he's a sophomore, but like he's older than RJ and Kevin Knox. That's pretty nuts.
I got to give credit to RJ. I like what I'm seeing out of him.
RJ's so young. We gotta give that guy. He's literally so young. Like this.
When Kevin Knox, when he was drafted, he was only 18. He was the youngest player in the draft.
Yeah. That's why we gotta give him time.
And he's playing pretty well. He hasn't been getting a lot of playing time recently because everybody's been healthy, but he really stepped up earlier in the season. He was shooting great. He was doing what he needed to do. Mm-hmm. Summer with lethal shooter really paid off.
Oh man. All right. Well, I guess we kind of covered that. Some other news. The NBA is set to release their second half of the season schedule in like 2 weeks. So they obviously released first half. Now they're ready to set the second half. I mean, there's not really much to say about that. We'll get to see who all the matchups soon. The NBA is working towards an all-star game at Atlanta's State Farm Arena on March 7th. and it would also have skill competitions. And we talked about that last time. We asked, like, are they going to have a dunk contest, a 3-point contest? Well, they will. So that's interesting. All-Star game, March 7th. There's a lot of controversy among people in the league saying they didn't want to have one. But yeah, seems like the NBA is going to play an All-Star game.
I think it's solidified at this point. I don't think they can turn it back and say we're not going to have one.
I don't know. They might.
They
LeBron said he doesn't want an All-Star game. So if
But he
like
he also said he would play in it if they did it.
Oh, okay.
LeBron, Giannis, Kawhi, and De'Aaron Fox, I think, all said they didn't want to play an All-Star game. And
I mean,
Scott Brooks, I think, who's the coach of the Wizards, but like I don't know why you're not going to be doing anything.
I didn't know that they were having like the skills competition and all that stuff. I don't think they should do that. I think they should just do the All-Star game.
Why not though? If they're doing the All-Star game, why not do the skills?
Yeah.
I don't know, because the whole thing about it is everybody's gonna get COVID and bring it back to their teams. Why have more people, especially like probably bums? Like, I mean, 3-point challenge, usually the guys are pretty good, but the dunk contest is just bums who are athletic. Like,
yeah, I get
why
what you're
bring them?
saying there. I think that it would be way better if they just didn't have fans. If they would
no
just
fans.
do all the activities, but they had no fans. I think that would just be way better, honestly.
Yeah, I don't. Fans is a bad idea.
But
Because it's not like it's like 30% people allowed in or something like that. So it's not like they're making a huge amount of money on fans.
Yeah.
And Atlanta is one of those cities that are pretty loose with everything.
Yeah.
Like we saw the incident with LeBron and that lady at the game. that was in Atlanta. That was, she was courtside at the game. So they don't really care down there.
Still
That guy,
crazy.
her husband has like in the past been like he's a LeBron like heckler. Like he'll go to any game and just be on that guy.
I feel like that was kind of blown out of proportion because LeBron was like, that happens like every night. Like that's something.
Yeah, LeBron was like, she shouldn't have been kicked out.
Yeah, he was like, that was like, he's like, it doesn't really matter. Like that literally, like we just don't hear it because there's normally like tens of thousands of people in the arena. Like, but it just so happened that she was like the only one really there.
Courtside Karen.
Oh my goodness.
That was actually hilarious.
And then an interesting, I guess now on the topic of LeBron, when I was watching their game against the Nuggets, it was LeBron. He recorded his 825-point game, which is the most in NBA history. I mean, I don't know why it just got me thinking, but LeBron, he has more 25-point games than most players like have played just period in the NBA. When you think about it, like it's really crazy. I looked up some of those players. Steph Curry has played less than 800 games. Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Penny Hardaway, Yao Ming, Gilbert Arenas, Damian Lillard, Anthony Davis, Blake Griffin. Like I could have kept going, but I was just like, I mean, that just speaks to LeBron's greatness. The fact that he's done that, like, I don't know, when it just puts it into perspective how insane his run has been. I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, I literally wrote in my notes that Toby the hater won't give him his props, but I mean, NBA players will have. So there are plenty of NBA players who have played 800 games and never even scored 25 points once out of those 800 games. Like
that too. Yeah, exactly. It's just nuts. Like it's really crazy to think about, or witnessing something completely historic.
Well, I want to address what Justin had to say because I may be labeled as a LeBron hater, but you have to give credit where credit is due. Like, there's one thing that I think I could say undoubtedly, and that is that LeBron has probably had the longest prime of any superstar. Yeah. Maybe Kareem.
I think he's surpassed Kareem at this point because I think also it was like the highest points per game, I think, in their 18th season, and LeBron was like 5 points higher than Kareem.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think he has to break Kareem's scoring record first.
Oh yeah,
But
I think he
but-
will too. I mean, at this
You
rate,
think?
he
Hold on.
definitely will.
well, another
He's
thing I
like,
wanted to
what,
say,
like 4,000 points behind. Like that'll take like 2-3 seasons.
LeBron is probably the most consistent superstar that the league has ever seen, just because he's been doing it since 2003.
He's literally the only time he missed an All-Star game was his rookie season. Like
So-
what? We're witnessing just an absolutely historic, unprecedented run.
LeBron's about 3,500 points away from Kareem.
That's what I'm saying. Like he's definitely gonna get that record.
And a lot of times, I feel like some stats are cherry picked for LeBron. I'll just say that. But the fact that he has so many, like he's breaking all these random records like every single time he plays just shows like how consistent he is and how dominant he is every single year he plays.
Everyone expected him to kind of take his foot off the gas a little bit this season after, the literally shortest offseason of all time. And then, the fact that he's entering age 36 season, I think.
Like he is 36.
Yeah. So it's just crazy. We got to just appreciate this guy because he's really he's dominating, but I don't know how much longer he really is going to be in the league. Like, that's not to say he can't play till he's like 40, but like
he's got at least 3 more seasons because he's playing with his son. Don't forget that. He's elevating his son's draft. No, it's true though. LeBron is a genius, bro. He's a genius because anywhere his son gets drafted, that's where LeBron is gonna go.
LeBron wins a ring with Bronny, he's the GOAT.
Yeah.
Hands down, he's the GOAT.
And also, I did say this: if LeBron can win a ring this year, then he will be the GOAT.
He's going back to back.
No, he's not though. So
Kobe, your Nets are not even making the finals. They're not going to be the ones who stop him from doing it. It's going to be the Sixers or the Celtics.
I
Man,
would
that's
love to see LeBron get another ring. I think that would be great. I would love to see. Do you think he's the MVP?
no, I don't think he's an MVP.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Not at the moment.
Or MVP?
Honestly, I'd give it to Steph over LeBron right now.
Nah.
I mean, Steph just put up 57 against Luka and the Mavs, but they lost.
I think
Totally unrelated, but Carmelo Anthony is less than 2,000 points away from being in the top 10 all-time score.
dude, that too. Like, I was looking at the all-time Carmelo, dude.
He's been getting some buckets off the bench.
He's
in
averaging like
Portland.
18 right now.
Yeah.
Is that the best draft class of all time?
2003?
I mean, I know everyone says like the 1984 draft with MJ and
It's
John
that or
Stockton,
2003.
Hakeem.
Wasn't the Steph one crazy?
1996 had like Kobe, AI, Steve Nash.
No, that one is the greatest of all time.
2003 is. I mean, the more of this, it's just. I feel like the more the years go on, it just becomes harder and harder to say because like LeBron and Melo, even they're just adding to that legacy.
Yeah, but that's
And
only
Chris
three
Bosh-
guys.
Chris Bosh was also in that draft, and his career got cut way short. Like, imagine if Chris Bosh like had just continued playing. Same thing with D Wade.
But the 96 draft just had so many, like you could just list so many names off that draft.
Yeah. But
That
none
would-
of them- I don't
the
know if any of them
2003
were
one is
better
only
than
like 4
LeBron, though.
people.
Were any of those players in the 96 draft better than LeBron though?
Well,
You
no,
could
but
argue maybe like
there was multiple MVPs in that draft class.
maybe.
The other one only had one MVP, one MVP, LeBron James.
That's a good point right there, Toby. No. 84, 96, 2003, top 3, undisputed. Nothing can beat them.
Well, regardless, they're all incredible, you know. All right. Last bit of news. Toby, you got to explain what the hell happened.
Yeah, I don't even understand it. It makes no sense.
So on Friday, during the Brooklyn Nets Toronto Raptors game, star forward Kevin Durant, he was initially slated not to start the game because of, health and safety protocols, but he ended up playing 19 minutes off the bench for the Nets. And then in the middle of the game, as they were reviewing a foul call, it was kind of weird. They were reviewing a foul call on Durant, which would have been his 5th foul, and they challenged it, and it got overturned. So he only had 4 fouls. And then he left and went into the locker room, but he looked really frustrated, and everyone was like, what the hell is going on? Why is KD leaving? It was not a foul. And then they're like, oh, it's because of COVID, contact tracing. And then everyone was just like, why was he playing at all then? But apparently he's eligible to return this coming Friday for Brooklyn, which I don't know. I just don't understand what happened.
Yeah, it was as a fan watching the game, it was pretty confusing at first. I wasn't sure if he got injured or what, but also another interesting fact, this was KD's first time in his career coming off the bench for a game.
That's not surprising.
It's not surprising, but it's just kind of crazy if you think about it. But
yeah.
The fact that they put him in the game, and apparently they said he was in contact with somebody who had an inconclusive test, and then that test turned out to be negative. And then there was somebody else that was in close contact with him with a positive case that they found during the game. I think that's what happened. And I don't know, it's all confusing. And it's clear why not all, but a lot of NBA players are upset with how the league is handling their protocols, because stuff like this is just super frustrating to deal with and pretty confusing.
So Kevin Durant tested negative, right?
Yeah, he tested negative 3 times.
Before and after the game?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That was just – did the Nets win that game?
Nah, they lost. And also the refs were – I could go off on the refs right now.
Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of screwy. You can't be like, no, you can't play. Oh, yeah, you can, but you have to come off the bench. Oh, halfway through the game, you can't play anymore. That doesn't –
yeah, it was really weird.
You can't do that.
And Steve Nash said it himself. He said he was distracted the whole game thinking about if they were going to get KD back or if he was going to have to go on health and safety protocols. And it just kind of affected the rest of the game. The Nets were the same after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was weird. It was a very weird game.
But is that the first time something like this has happened in the NBA?
Oh, remember, I think it was Danny Green. He was taken out in the middle of a game.
Oh, yeah. The Sixers had that one screwy game. I think they had Seth Curry ready to play, and then right before tip-off, they were like, nope.
Yeah.
But what is the point of letting someone play for 20 minutes, being in the game around his teammates, and then being like, oh, wait, actually, never mind. What is the difference of him just finishing the game? It literally, if God forbid they do get, he did have COVID. At that point, they're already kind of screwed.
Yeah.
So you may as well just finish the game. There's no point.
He already touched the ball that everyone else is touching.
That's what I'm saying. He already interacted with everyone in the game. There's no point. It's just stupid. Well, yeah, we'll see how things happen moving forward. But all right, on to somewhat of our main segment, I guess. So there's been some teams in the NBA during one of the most unpredictable NBA seasons of all time thus far that have somewhat fulfilled or exceeded their expectations. And on today's show, we're going to look at 4 teams who meet that criteria. And we're going to start with the Atlanta Hawks. And all right. So the Hawks, they started 4-1, and then they dropped 4 straight games. And amid that losing streak, if you remember, they were somewhat the face of controversy, as it was reported John Collins and Trae Young had a heated disagreement during a film session regarding how Trae Young runs the Hawks offense. And then over the past week or so, those two have somewhat cleared the air and put those rumors to bed. And the Hawks have been 7-7 since that 4-game losing streak. and they are currently 11 and 12 overall and 6th in the Eastern Conference. So what do you guys make of the Hawks this season? Either of you can go.
For one, I like their chances so far for the playoffs. I think I predicted them to be a playoff team at the beginning of the year. But the thing about the Hawks is that they're all super young, and they have to sort of understand how to play with each other, how to have good chemistry with each other, not go on these, not go against each other like that rumored John Collins and Trae Young did. And I remember John Collins saying that there was trade rumors surrounding his name. So I think if they can just get him have that they need to get to the playoffs. I think they have a really talented bench too. So I like their chances so far. They just have to keep Drum out of the way.
My favorite thing about the Hawks is all of their younger guys all do like their specific thing for the team. Trae Young is, he's a great facilitator. He can score. He gets everybody involved. DeAndre Hunter is a great wing player. He has stepped up big time, which I love to see because I forget which draft class he was in, but like the last 3 or 4 draft class, like they have the lottery picks. They haven't been playing well, but DeAndre Hunter stepped up, which I love to see. And bucket. Jorie's a hater, but he's a bucket. And Clint Capella has been playing amazing. He had a couple 2020 games recently.
Yeah, I mean the Hawks, they haven't made the playoffs since the 2016-17 season, but I think they're in a pretty good spot at the moment. They're top 12 in both offensive and defensive rating this season. And, like Toby said, considering how young they are, they're putting together a pretty good season. Trae Young, he's averaging 26.6 points, 4.2 rebounds, and 9 assists per game. He's also taking less threes, than normal. And I guess, Toby, you mentioned that, he's getting to the foul line a lot more than normal. And, we could debate whether or not he's a flopper. Yeah. But, it is what it is.
Why is he a flopper, but James Harden isn't?
Because I forget exactly what Steve Nash said, but he was basically saying that Trae Young doesn't play the right way. He doesn't play basketball the right way because the reason James Harden gets to the foul line is because they just can't stop him when he's driving or when he steps back and takes a shot and they're trying to defend him and they land in his landing area.
Or you mean when he's driving to the basket and he hooks his arm under your arm to generate contact and gets to the line for free?
See, that's different though. See, James Harden, since he's been in Brooklyn, he's been distributing more than he's been focusing on.
He has been playing different in Brooklyn. I kind of like it. He's more of a team player, it seems like.
But Trae Young, I think Trae Young still gets more free throw, more foul calls on him than per game. It's just the way that he flops. You can watch YouTube videos about it.
He's one of the smallest players in the league, so I feel like the refs are always looking out for him,
I guess.
But back to that thing with the John Collins and Trae Young. Does anybody know exactly what John Collins said about how Trae Young is running the offense?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if it was that detailed. I don't even understand how that gets leaked.
I saw what Toby's talking about. He said the way he was running the offense is not how he wanted it, but how is that?
I think he probably just wanted to be more involved somehow.
He's putting up 17 a game. He's playing well.
Yeah, but I know he's capable of putting up 20 plus.
The thing is though, John Collins didn't sign that extension with the Hawks in the offseason, so he bet on himself to have his best season of his career. And then when Trae Young is like taking, 20 shots a game and not getting John Collins the ball and not letting him put up numbers, it's gonna look bad for him. And he was probably just mad
Bro,
about that.
their potential is so high. Like they could be so good together, based off like the highlight plays you see already. Trae Young throwing it off the glass to John Collins. Like that could be a monstrous duo. They just have to fix. I think they just have to fix.
I feel like
Maybe like
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say maybe they have to fix their chemistry and like how many touches they get per game or how many points they score.
I feel like they have like one of the best. Like we were just talking about the Knicks and how they need to like kind of reconstruct their roster. I feel like the Hawks just have their roster constructed like perfectly already, and
Yeah.
they need time to grow. Like you
Mhm.
have Trae Young, obviously, who's like gonna be, or he already is like a superstar. Then you have the wings and DeAndre Hunter and Cam Reddish. You also have Bogdanovich, who they got, in
And
the
Huerter.
Huerter,
And Gallinari.
Gallinari. You got wings. You got plenty of wings. And then you got bigs in John Collins, Clint Capella, and then Okongwu if he ever comes back,
And they got Rondo coming off the bench.
Yeah, I was just about
They
to say
just
that.
have, their team is like set. They just like literally need time.
I
I
don't
think-
know who this guy Pierce Lloyd is, or however you say his name, Lloyd Pierce.
Their head coach.
But
That's their coach.
is he like good? Like, is he solid? Like, they might need a coaching upgrade.
I mean, he's been there since I don't know how long, but I mean, he's made them better every season, so that's got to be encouraging.
I think they're right where they need to be at this point in the season.
Yeah. Next year, I think they'll be a solid playoff team. They might even be like a top 4 seed, top 5 seed.
But
Yeah,
I
top
think the
5.
most impressive player on the team at this moment is DeAndre Hunter, even more than Trae Young, because I don't think I expected DeAndre Hunter to be like this good. Because I don't really think Trae Young, or excuse me, I don't think Cam Reddish is that good. Like honestly, I thought he was just overrated at Duke, especially next to Zion and RJ. Like I never really thought he was gonna be that good. But I especially didn't think DeAndre Hunter was going to be good at all. Like, I just thought that guy was going to be a waste of a draft pick because he didn't really do much at Virginia. But he's averaging 17 a game this season in his second season, and he's shooting 51% from the field and 36% from three. So he's been really solid for them.
And he's only going to get better, too.
Yeah, I definitely was sleeping on his game. I guess I didn't really project him to have a lot of potential, but you got to be happy for the Hawks.
Yeah, they're going to be nice in a couple years. They're going to be a top playoff contender.
Yeah, they're kind of like the Suns in a sense. Like they got like really capable young wings, and then a nice young guard, and then their big man has a lot of potential as well. So they're kind of like similar to the Suns in that sense. But
I don't know what it is. I just love teams that have a lot of young guys.
Because it's just fun to,
It's exciting.
Bro.
Potential they got. Yeah, exactly.
Like last year's draft class with like DeAndre Hunter in it. Zion, Ja, RJ, DeAndre Hunter, Garland, Jarrett Culver, Kobe White, Jackson Hayes. Like all these guys are sick.
Yeah.
They might be trash, but they're sick.
I just wish Kobe White was playing better, honestly.
Is he? I thought he was playing pretty well. Spencer's always talking
Well,
about
I mean,
how well he's playing.
He's playing all right, but like I thought he was going to take a way bigger leap than he did this year so far.
Sophomore slump.
So yeah, it could just be Zach is playing amazing.
Yeah,
true.
That too. All right. We can move on to the next team. That's kind of an Eastern Conference team, but on the opposite end of the spectrum, that's kind of underachieved, and that's the Miami Heat. So after becoming somewhat of a Cinderella team during the NBA bubble, obviously making it to the NBA Finals, they've even, retaining a lot of their roster from last season and even upgrading it in some terms, they're not doing as well. I don't know if the game is over between the Knicks and the Heat, but before that game, they were 8.
Yeah, the Heat won.
All right, well then they're 9-14, and I guess 13th in the Eastern Conference. So still not, a good record considering they were just in the NBA Finals last year. I mean, what's wrong with the Heat? You guys have anything to say about them?
I thought they'd be good. I didn't think they'd be as good as last year, but I didn't think they'd be as bad as they are. I think you put it in the thing, Jorie, in the rundown. They've had a lot of people, a lot of their main guys have been injured. Like I think you said Jimmy Butler only has played 10 games so far. Heroes only played like 15. So once the whole roster's healthy, they'll start to pick things up. Because Hero's playing great. I don't really like that guy, but he's averaging like 17, I think. So, I guess he's all right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, I agree with that. Like you said, I think if these guys had more games played together with each other, then they would definitely be a way better team. But maybe they need more depth off the bench. But honestly, I expected them to be way better than they are right now. I thought they were going to be like middle of the pack, like the Pacers or something like that. If they don't turn it around, they could be looking at like a 9th or 10th seed playing team, which I think they would fare well in, considering the fact that they have playoff experience. But they got to turn their season around pretty quickly and figure out, playing with each other, how they're going to win games, especially going into the playoffs.
Miami also doesn't have their first round pick this year because way back in 2015, they traded it for Goran Dragic. And then that pick has eventually found its way to the Thunder, who have like every pick in every draft for like the next like 10 years, it feels like. So that's concerning, I would say. But I was watching their game against the Hornets last Monday. And, that was also the first career start for LeBron. And the Heat, after, it seemed like they controlled the game for most of it, they lost in overtime, 129-121. That was also Malik Monk. He had like 36 in that game. So he was just like on fire. But yeah, I mean, like Justin said, a lot of their players have been injured. Jimmy Butler, 10 games, Kendrick Nunn, 14 games, Tyler Hero, 15 games. Avery Bradley just suffered a calf injury. He's going to be out for like a month. So a lot of their players are like just not even in the rotation. And then I also said, they developed like this grit and grind like identity during last season and, during the bubble where they're going to like outwork every team and, play great defense and just do all the little things. But when you're like missing a ton of players from your rotation, like it's hard for just everyone to step up and just be better than what they really are. But I don't know. I feel like their depth is like fine. Like I was watching Precious. That guy is just a grinder. He's perfect for Miami. Like he's so nice.
He hasn't been playing I guess for being a rookie and for what he is at the moment on the team, I guess he's playing well. He gets down and dirty and he does, he hustles and grinds, but he's still like the last guy in the rotation. He's only getting like, I think like 12 minutes a game or something like that. But,
he's one of like the most athletic players on that team.
And also you said, since a lot of the guys have been injured, one of the guys who was a pretty big, part in the success in the bubble in the playoffs last season, Goran Dragic is only averaging 14 points per game. And he's been one of the guys who have been there for most of the season so far, hasn't been injured. He needs to step up because in the playoffs last season, he was averaging 19. I don't really know how big of a 5 point per game difference is, but, if he's going to be one of the better players on the team, he's got to be doing more, especially when people are injured.
I also like Max Strus, who's like a shooter that they picked up. He's similar to like Duncan Robinson. They just randomly found a guy that is like lights out from deep. It's kind of crazy. And he played against the Hornets because Duncan Robinson picked up like really 2 quick fouls, and then he came in and he had a career high in that game. So
Has he been in the league before?
I think that last year was like his rookie season, and he played in Chicago, but like barely ever played. And then Miami was just like, yeah, we'll take him. And then of course, Miami just makes him to a star.
Thing about Duncan Robinson is like he can give you points really quickly, just catch and shoot threes. But he plays some of the worst defense I've ever seen in my life. Like I gotta be honest. He plays some really bad defense.
I mean,
that's hilarious.
yeah,
that's what you get when you have a sharpshooter on one end. He's gonna be a liability on the other.
While all the other pieces around him, they'll pick up.
Yeah, they make up for it.
Yeah, so it's yeah. I mean, speaking of that, Bam. I mean, if there is a bright spot with this team, it's been him. He's having a career year: 20 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists. He's shooting 58% from the field and 87% from the free throw line. He's definitely going to be a foundational part of their core moving forward.
Again, I think Bam is like the perfect guy to when you're talking about like landing in the right place. I don't know if Bam would have been this good if he had landed anywhere else.
That's true. That's true.
That might just be because I'm not a huge Miami Heat fan and I kind of dislike most of the players on the roster, but I really didn't think he'd be as good as he is. But I'm glad to see that he's playing this well.
Yeah. Shout out. And he's also like one of the best defenders in the league too.
Being that good of a raw athlete paired with like the Pat Riley Miami defense or mentality, that was just going to be a good fit.
That's why I can't wait for Precious, because Precious is just the perfect guy for that.
That's true. He's literally like a Montrezl Harrell or something.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He's gonna be nice.
Could be. Yeah, he's a freak athletically. Like he's crazy athletic. Yeah.
I don't see how the Miami Heat can return to where they were last year. I see them being like a first round, maybe if they can upset somebody, like if they play the Pacers or something. But I see them being a first round exit.
Yeah, I might have to
agree. And yeah,
it depends. It depends who the matchup is.
All right, we can move on to the 2 teams in the Western Conference. The first of that would be the Houston Rockets. And, after trading away James Harden, a lot of people expected them to kind of, I think we even said it on this show. We said time to initiate the rebuild because, it's really.
No. I said I think they should make a playoff run with the roster they have. And guess what they're fucking doing?
Yeah. They're currently 11-11, 10th in the West. So they're kind of right in the thick of things.
Their last 10 games, though, they're 7-3. They've been playing great recently.
So, yeah, I mean, John Wall, DeMarcus Cousins, Christian Wood, Victor Oladipo. They got a squad in Houston. What do you guys think of the Rockets so far?
DeMarcus needs to play better. He's not even averaging 10 a game.
That's what I was going to say, too.
Really?
I haven't watched any Rockets games. I have no clue how they play as a team.
It's Christian Wood's team, though.
But they could still coexist together, like as a power forward center sort of thing. But another thing I want to just mention quickly is I did see a report somewhere, forget where, but I read somewhere that the Rockets might trade Oladipo by the end of the season.
Yeah, I was just about to say there's a lot of talks about Oladipo being traded at the deadline. And he has said that his like one destination is Miami. Like he doesn't want to go anywhere else.
That would be crazy. Honestly, I think that would be insane.
They can make that happen.
They should.
Oh yeah,
they should do that. They should low key do that. I think that would be a win-win. Like that doesn't happen very often because I feel like a lot of people are sleeping on Oladipo because they kind of he got hurt, but he came back. Like came back And like before he got traded, he was like balling out with the Pacers. It was just kind of overshadowed by Sabonis and Brogdon, but he was like
He
low
was
key, like
averaging, I think,
almost back
just
to where
about 20.
where he was before the injury. Yeah, and like so, and then he's obviously a really solid defensive player, so he's gonna like fit in. If he went to Miami, he would fit in there. I think that's probably why they want to trade him, because they figure he's just gonna leave after this season, so they may as well get something out of it before he leaves.
That might be good though, because then I'll get to see my boy Kevin Porter Jr. get some playing time.
But I figured that Miami would probably. What would Miami give up? Maybe like Tyler Hero.
They'd have to give up somebody that they don't want to.
I don't see them giving up Tyler Hero, but
Maybe
think
Robinson. They might
they'd
get rid of him, and maybe like
I don't think they're gonna give up Bam or
yeah,
Jimmy.
no way. They might give up.
Kendrick Nunn.
Yeah, they'll probably just have to
Yeah, I
throw a
think it
bunch
would be
of.
like around like young
Well,
guys.
they'll probably just have to throw a bunch of crap at the Rockets. But that might be good. Keep the rebuild going, I guess.
Well, my takeaway from the Rockets is that Christian Wood is the real deal. Just like many people were predicting he was gonna be at the beginning of the season. Like
He's just having one lucky season.
He
yeah,
got
lucky
injured
season.
recently, right? He like sprained his ankle or something. Like
Yeah,
I
he
saw
did.
he left on like a wheelchair in one game. I don't know if it's like that serious though. I think I saw it wasn't like as bad as people thought.
But he's not so like he's not carrying the team, but he is pretty much the number one or number two option on that team on a nightly basis. And
Wait, who are we talking about?
Christian Wood.
Christian Wood.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
Two other players.
he's definitely going to be most improved. If he's not most improved, I'm pissed.
Jeremy.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's him or Jeremy Grant.
But I don't know. It's tough.
I don't know.
It's close. But two players on the Rockets that have really like surprised me, I think. Eric Gordon, who like obviously has been like good the past couple of years, but he's been like very good since Harden got traded. He's averaging 18 a game, shooting 46% from the field and 35% from three. And then Jae'Sean Tate, baby, who I mentioned not too long ago. But he's just a grinder, man. He's similar to like he's like a forward. He's more like a shooting guard, small forward, but like he's just a grinder. Like similar to like what PJ Tucker did the last couple of seasons for the Rockets. Like I think he could be that for like the next, era of Rockets basketball, just like an extremely valuable role player that they just have. I think he's going to be nice.
Yeah, I got to give you credit because you did mention his name on a previous episode, and I kind of blew him off because I had no idea who he was.
Yeah, I remember saying I have no clue who that is.
But I'm starting to hear his name more and more.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. He's just a grinder, man. He does all the little things, plays really hard. He fits in with that team well. Yeah.
And but yeah, just one last note on the Rockets. You said this, Jorie. The Rockets, the best thing about the Rockets is it's filled with players who the league gave up on. You said that. John Wall, Cousins, Christian Wood, people started sleeping on Oladipo. That's the best thing about the Rockets. Is it's just like everybody trying to revive their career.
Yeah. That's why I think they're doing like better than people expected, because you can't measure like heart.
Yeah, they got a chip on their shoulder.
Like, you can't measure that. Like you can't,
Yeah.
Mentioning that point, that they kind of remind me of the Nets a few years ago.
Oh man.
I'm serious. The Nets, they took a chance on D'Lo, who the Lakers had, after this whole snitching scenario, they took a chance on Spencer Dinwiddie being waived from the Pistons. They took a chance on Joe Harris being waived from the Cavs. And, Jared Dudley, all these pieces that no other team believed in, and they were able to make the playoffs. And I kind of hope that's the same for the Rockets this year.
Yeah.
At first, I didn't know where you were coming from, but you started to make a little bit of sense there at the end, Toby. I think I might have to agree.
I can see it. All right. The last team that we're going to talk about before our final segment is the New Orleans Pelicans. And they have obviously one of the best young cores in the league, but they've somewhat underachieved to start this season with an overall record of 10-12. And they are 12th in the Western Conference. So, after a pretty promising rookie season where we saw Brandon Ingram win Most Improved, Zion have a really nice rookie season, they haven't really been as great as people thought. So, what do you guys make of the Pelicans?
Yeah, I was one of those people who really thought they were going to be nice coming into the season. I think I said Lonzo would get Most Improved and Stan Van was going to get Coach of the Year. But yeah, I don't know what's wrong with these clowns. Lonzo's been playing better, not Most Improved. He's been playing better. There's been a lot of talks about a JJ Redick trade.
Yeah, I've been hearing all kinds of crazy stuff about everybody being traded.
Yeah, Lonzo was also rumored to be traded.
Mm-hmm.
It's just weird. I don't know what's going on with them.
What I can take away from this team is, like, most times when we see playoff teams, the difference with the Pelicans is that they're a young team and they're also relatively new playing with each other. Like most other playoff teams either have like a mix of a bunch of good veterans and like younger players, or they've been playing with each other for a few seasons and kind of understand how to win with each other. And that's something that I think the Pelicans are missing, both of those, because if you look at their depth, it's just a bunch of young players who, are trying to prove themselves to the league. And I think that's kind of affecting why they're not winning.
Yeah. I think that Drew Holiday trade was like kind of not the best move because, I don't know if Drew Holiday would have made them like that much of a better team, but like it's just the principle of it, kind of trading away a veteran that like knows like how to win or like has been in winning situations in the past, and then getting just like pieces that don't necessarily fit Zion and Ingram.
Plus a new coaching staff too.
Yeah, it's a lot of it's weird.
I mean, Zion is the one positive. He's taken a step up and he stayed healthy.
Great. Offensively, at least, he's been great.
Yeah, who cares?
Same thing with Ingram.
Young players don't necessarily need to be good at defense, in my opinion. It's a bonus. It's a bonus. But like young guys should just focus on developing their offensive game.
But the thing is, though, Zion was like an elite defender. I don't know, maybe not elite, but like he was a very active defender at Duke. Like when he played in college, like he was a freak of nature when he was playing in college, and then all of a sudden got to the NBA.
I don't think he's that bad of a defender.
Defense in college and defense in the NBA is a big difference, though.
It doesn't seem like he's putting a lot of effort in. I feel like that was the thing. Like he just went from being like one of the most energetic players in college to just someone that doesn't really put a lot of effort in defensively in the NBA, which is kind of weird because like he's so young. You would imagine he has a lot of energy still.
I mean, he still gets boards and a couple blocks a game, I think.
Yeah. He's definitely been very solid, though.
But I do think they should trade Lonzo.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, I don't think so. I don't think they should. I think they should keep those three together and just build around those three.
Well, I mean, if Lonzo is leaving, well, we don't know if he's leaving. He just didn't re-sign or whatever it was. He didn't extend his thing or whatever. But I think they should trade him. I think they should just not ever play Josh Hart and never even give him a second of playing time, and replace them with Alexander Walker and Kira Lewis, because Kira Lewis has not done anything. I'm looking at the roster and I just pulled up his stats, averaging a nice 3.9 points per game.
Who do you think they should get? Or you said they should trade Lonzo. I mean, what should they get in return then? Like, what should they try and address?
Well,
like their center spot, maybe.
Maybe
Yeah,
it depends.
wings.
It depends if Steven Adams is going to stay there because I like Steven Adams. I think he's a solid center. But yeah, I think they should go for a defensive wing, somebody like that, 3-and-D guy.
Maybe just
Mhm.
more depth in general.
Yeah, I mean this team is weird because like the two main guys that are like handling the ball and scoring a lot are Ingram and Zion. Like they don't have a guard that's gonna just that can run the offense. I mean, they have Zion or Lonzo, but he rarely has the ball in his hands.
Yeah, I can see that.
I don't know. I'm not an NBA GM, but you know,
What if they traded him to Charlotte for?
I mean, I would like that, but then
Melo.
Charlotte would also have to do something with their point guard situation because they'd have two Ball brothers, Rozier and Devontae Graham.
All right. Well, the thing is, if the two Ball brothers are playing together, then they don't need positions. Like they just know how to play with each other.
Yeah, I guess.
So it's just like, but I don't know. I don't know who they should. I think they should maybe go after, like you said, a 3-and-D guy. They still have JJ Redick, and he's kind of getting old. That's another player who they might consider trading also. Especially
Yeah, we were
since,
talking about that. There's a lot of trade rumors around him.
especially since a lot of like playoff teams are probably looking for more shooters come playoff time.
They should
And-
trade JJ for Matisse Thybulle. Trade him
Back to the Sixers.
for Matisse Thybulle.
I don't know if the Sixers would do
guy's
that.
Lockdown.
Yeah, the Sixers love that guy for
That
some
guy
reason.
is lockdown. That guy can clamp anything in the league.
Nah, he is locked down. I gotta admit.
But
But
one
they already
player,
have Danny Green.
yeah, I guess, yeah. One player though on the Pelicans that doesn't play at all, but he's on the roster is Najee Marshall, who I remember watching in college a lot. Probably don't even know who he is, but he's nice, and I hope he plays more because he could be
What position?
he's like a wing. I'm not saying that he's Paul George, but in college, if you watch his highlights, he literally plays exactly like Paul George. Like he's like he's like 6'7", but like can handle like literally like an actual point guard. Like people say like when we talk about someone like LeBron or Kevin Durant, like we say they can handle the ball, but like he can actually like he actually has like really nice handles, and he can facilitate
Mhm.
you know, like a guard. So I don't think he's ever gonna play, but I like him. I hope he gets a chance somewhere.
Hey, maybe this year will be his year.
He's also
Probably not.
Yeah, he guess this is his rookie season. So
I mean, the Pelicans have, I think they have what it takes for like in a couple of years to be nice. They have Brandon Ingram and Zion. That's like a good like starting position. I think if they make a couple of solid trades, a couple of solid signings, Pelicans could be somewhere in a couple of years.
yeah, they definitely have the two. I mean, they have the building blocks. They're probably in a better position than most young teams. You know, they have two players that have all-star potential. They just need to build around them better. Yep. All right. Well, that's really the 4 teams that I wanted to cover, and we already did our news. So, last bit of news this is gonna be fun. So, there was recent news that the EA, the gaming company, they would be revitalizing their beloved NCAA football franchise. You know, everyone remembers NCAA 14. I think that was the last one they made. So I figured it'd be an appropriate time to discuss some of our favorite sports video games that we've ever played. I have like 10. I have like 10 games, but you can just start rattling them off and we can talk about them.
Besides 2K, besides the two 2Ks that you have on this list, and NBA Jam and Mario Sluggers, which I don't even think they'll have on it. No, you got it on there.
Yeah, it's
I
fun.
haven't played any of those games before in my life. Never played
That's
NFL Street. Never played NBA Street.
Wow.
Never.
Wow.
All right, so wait. All
I was
right,
just Madden. I just played Madden all the time.
we can start. We can start. Yeah, I didn't put any Madden on
That
here, I
was
guess.
that was the only game.
I don't know.
played.
I never really enjoyed Madden that much. I played a few of them.
What kind of system did you
But
have
I was-
in like the mid 2000s?
PS2,
The mid 2000s.
Yeah, like mid to late 2000s.
PS2, a Wii, DS.
The OG Xbox.
Oh, you had the Xbox.
Yeah.
See, oh, so you didn't have. Oh, okay. So you didn't have any of the baseball games either.
Yeah, I never really played many baseball games. Other than, I mean, I played Mario Super Sluggers. That was the best like Nintendo, whatever sports game in my opinion. that and the soccer game that they had. I don't remember what it was called. It was like Super Strikers, I think it was called.
Yes. That game was
sick.
great.
That
I
game
don't know. I
was
wasn't a
sick.
huge Nintendo player. I had the Wii, but
I loved all that shit, dude.
all right,
Yeah,
all
that
right.
game was
So let me
fun.
ask you a question. Is the best 2K?
Well,
2K11.
Ooh.
2K13.
Ooh.
2K13.
2K11.
2K13 or
Nah,
2K17.
Oh,
It's 2K11.
all right. No, Jorie.
2K11 was basically the game that put me on 2K though.
Well, yeah.
Like
yeah.
I played 2K10, I think. Like I played a little bit of 2K10, but like 2K11 was really like the OG. Because that was also the first game I think Michael Jordan was in.
Mm-hmm.
Or like in a long ass time because like he didn't have like give them their rights. Like they didn't really have like many historic players in their games before that. And then MJ was like the face of that game.
Yeah.
That game
That's a
was sick.
good game.
Because they had that game mode in that one where like you played like some of Jordan's like best career games. I think. So like, and you had to like complete the challenges.
And the soundtrack, the
great.
soundtrack is goated too.
Oh yeah, legendary soundtrack.
Nah. 2K13 is the best soundtrack. Whose world is this? The world is yours.
Yeah.
The world
Okay,
is
okay,
yours.
Where it had some nice soundtracks. But the first next gen 2K14 was fun just because it was like when I played that for the first time and I saw the graphics, I was just like, I thought it was like the coolest thing. But now it's just like they look like trash.
Well, I got a
trash.
I got a sports game you guys didn't consider.
What?
Tony Hawk.
Yeah, I was thinking of putting that on there, but I don't think I ever owned it myself.
Bro, if you got to play Tony Hawk Underground 1, that takes place in Trenton.
Oh yeah, I think you said that once.
No cap. You literally have to hop over the bridge to get to PA.
That's sick.
It's the greatest game of all time.
Nah, but okay. The games that you said you'd never played, Justin. NFL Street. That game was goated. That game was incredible. I don't
even know what it was like. Like I have no idea.
Madden
what that
is
game
like recreating it now with their game mode or whatever. With I don't even know what it is, like 5-on-5 or whatever in Madden. But like it's basically that. But like it was so much fun.
It's
like,
basically like Madden, but like literally like in the streets. Like you're playing on a beach or you're playing like in a random field.
It was sick. It was so sick. It was just it was like an arcade game, but NFL.
I played backyard football. I didn't play backyard basketball. But I played backyard football.
I was gonna put football,
backyard baseball.
Yeah, I played like all of them, but basketball was my favorite. 2001. I think KG was in that game.
The Little League World Series baseball games, those were fire.
But okay, no. One of the best basketball games, just period. NBA Live 2005, baby. I literally still have it. It was the one with Carmelo on the cover. One of the best games of all time. Hands down.
See, you haven't played NBA 2K3.
Oh my god.
That's the game I played on the
did that have D Wade on the cover?
No, I had AI.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
That game was good. That game's better than the 2Ks now. It has more features.
NBA Live 2005 though was a game. NBA Street Volume 2, that was fun. NBA, just the whole NBA Street series was fun.
I didn't play the NBA Street ones. I played FIFA Street.
FIFA Street was a game. That was a game.
FIFA Street was nice.
That was so
I've only had one FIFA game. I only had one FIFA game. I think it was like FIFA 11 or 12 on the Wii. I had it on the Wii.
FIFA Street was better than like any just straight up FIFA game because it was like all the street games are just better than the actual games themselves. Like all the arcade, they just are like they're just so much more fun. Like it's just a twist on sports, but it makes it so much better. That game was that game. I grinded that game so much when I was younger. And then NBA Jam, obviously. NBA Jam. I mean, that's one of the goated games. That game is fun. And then
that game is consensus GOAT.
And then I said SSX3, which is a snowboarding game that I used to play a ton. It's like a whole series, but I thought that was the best one.
I think I might have had that game on the PlayStation.
It was so much fun. It's basically like all the skateboarding games, but you know, obviously you're snowboarding and
Skate 4 is coming out, and I cannot wait.
Yeah. I gotta like either I don't know if I want to get, you know, the next gen consoles or just go back in time and play all the
I got my PS5. It just came I think on Wednesday, Thursday.
Yes,
How
sir.
was it?
I mean, it's all right. It's really not that much different than the PS4, honestly.
I think I might try to get the PS2.
Yeah. That's what I kind of figured.
Well, they also haven't released any like PS5 games. Like there's like 2 of them that have like PS5 graphics.
It's going to be a while. Because, I mean, when was like the goated era of like PS4? If you think about it, like 2016 maybe?
It was like the first couple years we were playing it, like when we were still doing
2016 was probably like the best like year for PS4, I would say.
When
That was
GTA
when, like,
was
Black Ops
popping.
3
Yeah.
came out, I think.
Yep.
GTA obviously was like at the height of its, you know, whatever. It's gonna be like
the prime of PS4 was like 2015 to 2018, because 2018 was right when Fortnite came out, like right after like season like 4 of Fortnite. Then that was like, because that's when you left PlayStation, Jorie. That's how you know it was the end of an era.
When did Rocket League come out? Rocket League is another goated sports game.
That came out in 2015 or 2014.
That was a game.
That was still is a game.
Yeah, we still play it, Jorie. We still play it.
Damn. Yeah, that was that. I don't know how many hours I put into Rocket League, but probably way too many.
Nah.
Oh my gosh, that was fun.
Did you play Rocket League when Epic Games bought it?
I doubt it. I don't even remember when that happened.
That was a terrible day.
It was a terrible day.
It really was. That was an L.
Yeah, well, hey, that's how it goes, man. Good things don't last forever.
I don't know if you guys played Madden, but Madden 07 is the best Madden that's ever been made.
Yes.
Madden 07 is the best Madden.
Never really played that many of the Maddens. I feel like I don't even remember which one.
Madden 07 and then Madden 05.
05, yeah, 05.
Yeah.
Literally, like they're the best too. 06 was nice, but it wasn't
all
on
of the
level.
even numbered games for Madden always suck.
09.
I don't remember. Oh wait, no, that was the one that had was that the one that had Brett Favre on the cover?
Yeah.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes,
I played that on the Wii. I was nice.
Damn.
I think that was the first game I had on the Xbox 360.
Damn. I hope NBA Live makes a comeback. Because when NBA Live was popping, like that was really just when because like EA used to make like really good games. Like they made like
they got money hungry.
All the street games, obviously NBA Live. Like they used to make games and it used to be competitive, but now 2K has just like taken over and like their games, like because there's no competition, their games just like suck.
Yeah, I really wish 2K was like nice, like within the past couple of years with 2K.
2K took over that game the hell is it called? It's basically like a remake of NBA Jam. What's it called?
No idea.
NBA. Wow, I can't remember
Let's
what
just
it is.
beat the Celtics.
Wow. All right. Well, yeah, it doesn't really matter. They bought it and they made it trash, I think. So yeah.
Hey, we forgot to mention though, it's Super Bowl day.
Oh yeah, that was like one of the last things I wanted to do. So Super Bowl, obviously. I mean, it's like 2 hours. Do you guys got any predictions for the Super Bowl?
Wait, let's do this. Let's all do score predictions.
All right.
Score prediction.
I know.
Yeah, and then whoever gets the closest wins.
I already thought it. I said Bucks are winning 28-24. Write that down. Are you writing it down?
Yeah.
28-24 Tampa Bay.
I like that. What about you, Justin?
Because I feel like everyone expects this game to be like super high scoring, but I don't know if that's really going to happen. I feel like the teams are going to clamp down.
I'm going to say
a pretty high scoring game though, 28 points.
I'm going to say the Chiefs are going to win. Chiefs are going to win. Chiefs are going to win 36-33.
36. They're going to go for 2.
Okay.
All right, that's fair.
That's a very big score.
Yeah, I know, because in the vetoes in our like Super Bowl thing, I said the final score was going to be above 69 points.
All right, listen to this. Ready?
Oh gosh.
The Buccaneers are going to take this W by a score of 34-21.
Wow.
What?
Yep.
What? No, well,
no, that's cap. That's
first
cap.
of all,
Mahomes isn't losing by 2 scores. That's not.
First of all, both you clowns are going to owe me some money by the end of this game.
I'm sorry.
Wait, Justin, we put 30?
Yeah, me and you put 30, me and Jorie put down 20.
Bet.
I can't bet against Tom Brady. I mean, I don't mind Mahomes winning like at all. I wouldn't mind it happening, but I can't bet against Tom Brady at home. You can't do it.
Tyreek,
can't do it.
Did you see what Tyreek said?
Yeah.
What did he say?
He said they're chasing after Jordan. They're trying to get 6. And then Brady was like,
I mean, they have to win. They literally have to win. Like they basically have to. They can't lose this game.
Brady was basically like, why not go for 7?
Yeah. I saw like the NFL ESPN account on Instagram was like making a big deal. Because
I'm so ready.
Because Tyreek said that, and then Tom Brady was like, "Yeah, why not go for 7, buddy?" And then now they're meeting up in the Super Bowl the year after.
He posted a pretty cool video. I don't remember.
Who, Tom or Tyreek?
Yeah, Tom Brady. It was like a hype video. It had like a pirate ship, and he was just like narrating it with like plays throughout the season. Basically, it's pretty sick.
I really hate Tom Brady and Gronk, but Tom does look fresh in that Bucks uni. He does look pretty nice in that new Bucks uni.
You gotta respect the greatness, man, because we're really witnessing like it's pretty crazy to think about that we witness basically LeBron's entire career. I mean, I don't know how much we remember of his early careers because we were like super young, but like we basically were alive for like the entire career of Tom Brady and LeBron James. Like 2 of like arguably the most dominant athletes ever.
Yeah.
That's pretty
And we
nuts.
also, depending on when you started watching, we also got to see Kobe.
Yeah, exactly. Like the era of sports that we grew up in.
We also got to see Eli Manning, the true GOAT.
Eli Manning.
The better Manning, the best Manning brother.
Nick Foles.
Oh, yeah.
Tom
Big
Brady.
Dick Nick, baby.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Also, shout out.
I actually just saw that the Eagles are trying to trade Wentz for Nick Foles in a first.
Yeah, I think I saw that.
Ooh.
Shout out all the
I don't know.
shout out all the players that made the Hall of Fame yesterday. Shout out A-Rod for winning MVP.
Yeah.
As soon as you said A-Rod, I was thinking Alex Rodriguez.
That's why you can't really call him A-Rod.
Can we talk about how Justin Jefferson definitely deserved Offensive Rookie of the Year?
I don't think he did though.
But he did though, because he was a Pro Bowler.
He would deserve it if it wasn't for Herbert just being insane.
We're not much of a football, but hey,
This league got to stop riding QBs.
I don't even know if it's that, because like past couple of years, it's actually been like running backs and receivers. Like I think Odell won that, Kamara won that, Zeke. I don't know if Zeke won. I think Todd Gurley did. But Justin Jefferson definitely deserved that because he was an all-pro receiver. He literally was 4th in the league in receiving as a rookie. Like that's literally unprecedented. He literally had the best rookie receiving season of all time.
Oh yeah, but Herbert had the best rookie quarterback season of all time.
I don't know.
One of if
like
not
statistically maybe, but like I don't know. What Justin Jefferson did was literally incredible. But hey, he was an all-pro, so it doesn't really matter.
True.
All right, is that all you guys want to say? It was a good conversation we had.
Yeah, I think so. I think we touched upon everything.
All right. Well, enjoy the Super Bowl, and we'll see you everyone next week.
Everybody stay safe and warm. Big snowstorm out there.
Yes,
sir.
A lot of snow. All right. Peace.